just be set in the lab. However, the lab has a lot of variables, so if you want to get comfortable with interacting with the simulator itself, you probably want to start with the intro. Don't forget to add a mate to be able to see what happens over generations. You can set the dominant fur color and the recessive fur color to be brown. So if you want it to be dominant, click the dominant. If you want it to be recessive, set it as recessive. So here it says mutation coming, which tells me that once the generation goes next, then it's set. So as a recessive gene, you'll see how often we get a brown rabbit. Here we have wolves, so when it's time to introduce wolves, go ahead and click that, and they'll come through ever so often within a generation. If you want to limit the food, you can click limiting food, and that will happen ever so often within a generation. And then you'll see what happens to the populations down here at the bottom. Here is a data probe that you can use to cycle through and find your numbers. Once you get a good feel for how the populations are impacted by the different factors that you're interacting with, you can move over to proportions, pedigree, none. So those are some options as well that you can take a look at. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, going a little slow. Over here is the lab. If you go into the lab, here you have more traits that you can select and then see what happens with your rabbit population as time goes on. So limited food, tough food, wolves as well. Don't forget to add your mate. You can also change the season or location, right? So if it's a snowy location, if it's a dry, sunny location, different rabbits might do better in the different locations. To reset, you have the reset button down here. Resets it back to the original settings or lack thereof, and that should get you all through working with your model. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.